Now, I don't know who in the NBA looked at me when the idea came up about bringing me up to the Chase Center and said, "Hey, man, we think it would be a cool idea to bring this guy up here," right? I don't know who on the other side was speaking against it. I don't even take it personal because if I'm in their position, I understand that. Are we really going to take a chance with a guy who did 26 years in prison, who just happens to sound good doing play-by-play? We don't know nothing about his past. We don't know nothing about him other than he's a prisoner. Why are you guys willing to take this chance? And the reason that I will never do anything to bring bad light on myself, because that brings bad light on people who believe in me. The Warriors gave me the opportunity to show the entire country what it looks like to be rehabilitated and what a rehabilitated person can do when you release them from prison with a much healthier spirit and psychological state, and you give them the support that they need. Now, I'm not going to sit here and call CDCR's parole process the most virtuous thing in the world. I'm not going to say it's the most helpful thing in the world. There are programs in there that can help you, right? But you have to want to get out and do it yourself. And because I was out there doing it, and then I got the backing from those people, never am I going to let them down. And as I started off the show, I'll say it again as we close this part of the question out. My first representation is to the incarcerated inside, every last one of them. I can't stop to judge what they're in there for, because then I'm going to start being exactly what I don't want to be, right? Some parts of me are still, some crimes are worse than others, and you need to stay over there, even though I speak for you, but please don't talk to me because that crime you committed is some sick shit. I do have that feeling. Don't ever get it twisted. I'm not sitting here saying that everybody should be out of jail, abolish prisons. No, we need jails. It's some motherfuckers that do shit that need to be locked up. The stuff I was doing in 94, I needed to be locked up, but maybe not for as long as I was, right? Maybe my example is after you reach a certain point of rehabilitation and there's really nothing left for you to rehabilitate, maybe we should start looking at that person at that date instead of waiting another 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's wait and see. We'll give him 10 years worth of time to get in trouble. Yeah, there you go. You walk down the wrong line and you cross that yellow line. We're going to deny you 5 years parole. Really? That's what we're going to do? So the Golden State Warriors as an organization, as representing social justice reform, put their money where their mouth is in me. And I'm not going to let them down, and I'm not going to let anybody in blue down. Every time the Warriors came down that hill every year to do that, I took it as a live job interview. And every time I finished and I talked to Bob, I'm like, you know, I'm coming to talk to you when I get out. And he just started laughing. Then he came in for 2016, 17, I think it was, for the Sports and Social Justice Symposium. And Bob Myers and Robbie Gold, Bob Myers, Robbie Gold, Eric Reed, Lewis Murphy, myself. Well, I wasn't going to be on stage until Bob went to Van Jones and said, no, you got to have Showtime up here with us because it ain't shit unless we got him. He's the voice. That's the voice of San Quentin sports. How you going to have a sports and social justice symposium and you don't have the voice of San Quentin sports up here? You know, and so that's when I seen that the work I was doing with play-by-play was seen as a significance off the court as well. You know, and it was respected by none other than Bob Myers of the Golden State Warriors, who just told Van Jones, one of the leading progressive voices in the country, that we're not doing nothing unless we get Showtime on stage with him. You know, and so that let me know the type of confidence that they had in me then to set up for that email I got a few years later. On April the 10th, 2021, I didn't walk up in there, you know, shivering. I walked in there in awe because it is an NBA arena and I gave it its proper respect. But when I walked up in there, like, this is where I was supposed to be at 26 years ago. And I took the detour, right? So I'm standing here now in space that I earned myself. I earned every piece of everything that's happened to me since I came home based on the foundational work that I did while I was inside of CDCR. And my focus and my message has not changed. I don't hate the people who hated on me because they're still incarcerated and my job is to represent the incarcerated. At the same time, I'm not mad at society for choosing to pass laws based on actions that my generation was taking that led me to prison for 26 years, right? And so I find myself in a unique position of being sympathetic and empathetic to varying factors societal factors in my life that helped me to become the person I am now. The moment that they sent me that email and I agreed, I had a sense that I was getting ready to be the Jackie Robinson of ex-cons, straight up. I remember me and my nieces were sitting on the corner of Crenshaw and Adams, and that was during when 42 was out, so they had the 42 up on the billboard, and I looked and I said, that's getting ready to be me of ex-cons. And they said, what? I'm the first ex-con they getting ready to let do this stuff. Everything that's getting ready to happen after this is going to be on me. If I fuck this up, then everybody coming out of jail after this is not going to get a chance. They're not going to have the benefit of the doubt. I'm being given the benefit of the doubt, so I can't fail. If I fail, then everybody coming out of jail is going to be treated the same way I'm going to be treated for fucking up. And I couldn't have that. If you're going to make me the ex-con, if you're going to make me the Jackie Robinsons of ex-cons, then I have to be humble when I go up in there. I have to be Jackie Robinson when I'm up in there. I have know that these darts and bullets are coming at me from the NBA as an organization, worried about their product. You know, they have a brand too. They don't want their brand associated with some dude who might jump up and do something crazy. Individual who doesn't have the sense on how to control themselves, right? And you put me up there. What if I'd have got up there and one of those guys, I forget who was the announcers that night, but what if one of them would have asked me a question and I wasn't in the right state of mind and I flashed on him like I was in prison? Hey, Showtime, what you think about the guy who patted that dude on the butt? What? Who was patting him on? What do you mean? I didn't see nothing like that. Why are you talking to me about something? What if I would have responded like that? Instead, I had taken the time to really educate myself and know what I was walking into. And I knew when I went up there and they put that mic in my face, there's no way anything that comes out of my mouth is going to be reflective of everybody else that comes behind me.
And that magical night, PA announcer for the Golden State Warriors, of course, it made its rounds, going viral on social media. I made sure to cover it on NBA Buzz back then. Tell me about it, calling the game, meeting all the players, the post-game interview with Steph Curry, celebrating the occasion, them showering you with water. It just all looked incredible.
Like I was a team member, like I had finally made it. That all the work I did, all the sacrifice, missed sleep, getting yelled at, called out my name. It was worth it. To dedicate myself to this for 26 years. And Kent Laker told me I had action. I could have went straight to the G League. I could have had a tryout straight at the Santa Cruz Warriors. I asked him for that right after ATL asked him about, they talked about the shot in the movie. When the camera switched, I had already slid over the curtain and I forgot I was mic'd up, but I did ask him. And he said, yeah, when you get out, you can get a shot. So I could have went straight to the G League, straight to the Santa Cruz Warriors with a tryout. I can't jump straight from this yard and jump straight to the G League. I need to go home. I need to go try for the VBL.
You said a few questions back. Draymond Green was the realest one on the yard. Talk to me about Steph Curry, how he treated you that night as a PA announcer. That post-game conversation. He just seemed like he was he had all the support for you.
He does, and again, actions back up words. You know, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were two of the players that everybody in San Quentin wanted to see walk down that hill to come check out a game. And I remember people asking me that while I was the sports editor in San Quentin for the paper. And they would ask me my opinion, man, why won't Steph Curry come up here, man? Why won't Klay Thompson? How come those big players won't come? And I said, listen, watch the news. Steph Curry is over there in East Oakland doing something with a bunch of kids getting filmed. Klay Thompson's on his boat. He's always been private. Hell, I know his daddy. Anybody of my age that was from LA know his daddy played over here in Compton, played basketball and stuff. Matter of fact, with my color commentary man, LA Cook, who was in the video with me, LA was the guard and Mike and Klay Thompson's daddy was his forward, and they won a city championship together. And I'm telling these guys in prison, look, I know we want to see Steph Curry. Well, damn, I want to see Klay Thompson too, but they ain't built like that. Don't hold that against them. You know, this dude is a MVP all-star. So when I'm standing next to him, well, actually, I didn't know he was coming. I thought it was over. Once I did the public address, okay, I got Matt Pittman, who's the public address announcer there. He's helping me. I got Ann Park over here on this side. They congratulate me. I'm just happy to get through because don't nobody know this. I'll tell you now. Most people don't know I was in the middle of a diabetic seizure during that time. I had diabetes and didn't know it. I had been urinating every 2 hours since 2 days before I took the flight there. And I didn't know why. So during the game, the night before when Westbrook gave me the shoes and I'm just sitting there watching, every time out in between every quarter, I'm going to urinate. I gotta pee, right? I don't know what's wrong with me. So between the third and the fourth quarter, I shoot to go to the bathroom. And when I come out, Sean Livingston is standing there, right? Now look, I'm a Clipper fan. I know who the hell Sean Livingston is. As soon as I see Sean Livingston, right, I'm standing, I'm going, you're Sean Livingston. He's like, hey, Showtime, man, you got a really, really inspirational. Now he's tall, right? So I'm leaning down. It's like, you got a really, really inspirational story. But I'm like this. You're Sean Livingston. Listen, man, Draymond Green, I didn't fanboy out in prison. Kevin Durant, anybody they brought in prison from the NFL, all of Ronnie Lott. I love Ronnie Lott as a football player, but when you come in, I'm a reporter. Sean Livingston, I fanboyed out on. I fanboyed on him, for real. I shouldn't even did it. I'm ashamed to say it, that I fanboyed out when I'm 55 years old on Sean Livingston, but I did. Most people do that for Michael Jordan. Sean Livingston was my man on that level.